Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Weber. You're watching Better for America, presented by AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. Now, joining me today is Senator Roger Doc Marshall. He is a physician and a senator from Kansas. We'll be back in just a moment, so don't go anywhere.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
Senator, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Now, it seems that everyone is fatigued with hearing about the border. We see what's happening at the border, but this is an issue that is so important to our over 2 million AMAC members. And it remains an incredibly important issue. You've got some really great ideas and great solutions. I want to get to those in just a moment, but most recently, something that's been of great concern to our AMAC members is the problem initiated by the Biden administration. We learned that Biden has flown over 300,000 migrants into the United States. So speaking with people from all sides of the spectrum, I can confidently say that most have now come to this conclusion, and that is that Joe Biden wants these people here in this country coming over illegally. My question to you, sir, is why is this happening? How and why is Joe Biden allowing this? And what is it that we can do, the American people can do, and Congress and the Senate to stop this kind of behavior?
Yeah, Rebecca, I'm going to answer the last question first. The only thing we can do is elect a new president. There are not enough laws in this land that would make Joe Biden secure the border. If he wanted to secure the border, he could have done it yesterday, last year, 3 years ago. Instead, he chose to do just the opposite. So what we have to do as the American public is get somebody different in the White House. It is that simple. I want to talk in just a second about these 300,000 people that he flew in. This is why, one of the reasons why I objected so strongly to this so-called border security bill that was given to us. That bill did not address parole. So this president has paroled over 2 million people since coming to office, including these 300,000 that you're mentioning. Barack Obama only paroled less than 5,000. President Trump paroled less than 5,000, but here is Joe Biden paroling 2 million people. He broke the law. What the law says is you should be paroling those people one person at a time. He's paroling them by the tens of thousands. And most of the people that he paroles, he brings in by flights, like you're describing here, on American taxpayer dollars. So we have Americans over there, we are working with NGOs recruiting people to come to America and saying, we will pay your way, we'll set you up with housing when you get there, and who knows what else. And I know they're not being properly vetted. It's so easy to penetrate it when there's that number of people coming in, but we need a new president. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, that is the bottom line for sure. It seems, not only is he bringing in hundreds of thousands of illegals over the border, but really turning a blind eye to the danger that they present. Even if the majority of these people are good people, the minority that are coming over with bad intentions, who don't like America, who are drug trafficking and child trafficking, and really taking over the border, these cartels, it's a real issue. This is not an opinion. It really is a fact. And you, sir, proposed a resolution to declare an invasion at the southern border, which really aims to reaffirm states their constitutional rights to protect themselves. Can you give us an update on where things are at with your proposal?
Well, again, what our proposal does, if we would call this an invasion, which it is, 10 million people have crossed our border illegally. That sounds like an invasion to me. That empowers the governors then to basically do whatever they can or want to secure their border, as opposed to the fights that we've seen between Joe Biden and Texas. Can you believe we're sitting here and having this discussion? I can't believe that I have to fight for Texas to be allowed to defend themselves. If Joe Biden won't do it, for crying out loud, let's let the Texans defend themselves, which we know they will. We've seen them put up the wire, and it's working. And with some more police force and folks down there, they've been able to somewhat control their border. Now it's leaked out the other end, of course. Now it's leaking in through California and Arizona. But what our bill does is if the Congress would declare this an invasion, then it allows the governor to act more strongly and would put him on equal grounds with the Supreme Court, actually put Texas on better grounds with the Supreme Court. But this was voted down. The Democrats will not support anything like this. And again, the Democrats, Joe Biden, they want these 10 million people crossing the border so that they'll vote for their party in the future.
Yes, your proposal would have really empowered governors to secure the southern border without interference from the Biden administration. And we did recently see how the Supreme Court ruled that the Biden administration could remove wire fencing in Texas, which was ordered by the Texas governor, Abbott. So my question is, your proposal would have fully protected states from these kinds of actions. Instead, Joe Biden chooses, and his administration chooses to absolutely go against, and all of the people that are in his corner go against these common sense solutions. Meanwhile, Senator, we see these NGOs making a lot of money. It almost seems like a money-making deal to keep the border wide open for a lot of people. Can you explain who is benefiting, in your view, from a wide open border? Because somebody's got to be benefiting from this, otherwise it wouldn't continue, in my view.
Yeah, Rebecca, this is actually a worldwide scheme going on with the United Nations, World Health Organization. All of them are involved with this and basically recruiting people to come to America. But the benefactors are going to be the cartel as well as the Chinese triad. So the cartel manages the dirty work. They're the ones that are smuggling the drugs across the border, killing 300 Americans every day. And then the Chinese triad is the precursors are made in China by the CCCP labs, and then the triad smuggles it to Mexico, hands it to the cartel, brings it into the country. On the back end, the Chinese triad is doing the money laundering, and now what we're seeing is an explosion of human trafficking. Wherever you've seen the drug trafficking, you're now going to see human trafficking come in right behind it. The human trafficking is even more profitable. And what we're seeing is as they traffic these people from China to Turkey into Colombia, Colombia does not require any type of passport system, so they bring them to Colombia, they take them across the Darien Strait, and somewhere at about the Darien Strait, the Chinese triad forces them into bondage, and they tell them, look, we tricked you. We told you if you came this way, we would get you all the way to the United States, to the land of milk and honey. But now, to pay off your debt, you've only paid us for half of it. Now you have to go into some type of human bondage. You can go work growing marijuana in the Chinese weed farms, or you can go work in the prostitution rings, in the massage parlors. So the ones who are benefiting from this are the cartels, the underground Chinese triad, and the CPP as well.
Yeah. And here we have, and this is what's so shocking, Senator, is we have a president who is ignoring it. If anybody looks at his tweets or Kamala Harris's tweets, they talk about, the need to reelect Joe Biden to protect our fundamental rights. They talk about, others such as Donald Trump, our former president, as being a potential dictator. But it seems that the American people, I know our AMAC members are really waking up. They're saying that it's obvious why you're doing this, and you're most definitely projecting and gaslighting everyone else. It is infuriating all voters. Do you think that electing a Republican president, a conservative president, will be enough to turn things around? Or do we need both the House and the Senate? Because this is a question a lot of people say. They say Joe Biden could change things around all by himself. Is that the case if a Donald Trump does get into office? Will Donald Trump be able to turn this around without a House and Senate Republican majority?
Okay, I think that President Trump would be able to turn it around, but then we're going to get tied up in the court system. We need to go behind President Trump's policies and then make meaningful reforms. Look, no, certainly we're not going to have a Republican president forever. That's not going to happen. So we can empower President Trump. We can make it easier for him, and then he can move on. We got to secure the border first, but then we need to set American energy free. We need to help the folks with the economy, get interest rates down, get the cost of gas and groceries stabilized. Look, we've got plenty to do without the Senate and the House fighting back and pushing back against President Trump as well. So obviously I would like to have all three of them, but I think even beyond the border, though, it's those other policies that I'm concerned about, especially just this overregulation that Congress has done with Joe Biden in power.
I mean, our members are saying, what's going on here? This makes no sense. You know, a president whose really sole job is to protect the American citizens and put America first. And you yourself have said that the president has not done his constitutional duty, and we've established that. Joe Biden has the power to secure our borders. Instead, he has chosen to break the law. And, sir, that is really so true. If this administration has its way, a huge number of these non-citizens will vote, in my view, in this year's election. AMAC members, over 2 million strong, are most concerned about this. AMAC just recently launched a new initiative aimed at stopping illegals from voting in our elections. People can learn more about that if they go to amac.us/stop illegal voting, where they can send a letter to their member of Congress. But where we encourage people to contact their congressmen and women to take action to prevent this, the concern is that Congress may not be able to do anything between now and the 2024 presidential election. How concerned are you and the people that you represent about the potential for illegals and non-citizens voting in 2024? Is that a real concern?
Yeah. Well, Rebecca, bingo. Everybody should be concerned because it's already happening. That there are statewide efforts, community-wide efforts in blue states where they are trying to make sure that these illegals get to vote. And we need to stand up at every level, at the local level, all the way up to the federal level. It's great that you're reaching out to your Congress members and your senators, but I think it's equally important that you're reaching out to your state officers, your state representatives, your state senators, the governor, the secretary of state. All those people need to understand that you need to be a United States citizen to vote in American elections. It's that simple. The Constitution states that the time, manner, and place of election shall be controlled at the state level. So I think it's just all the more important that you reach out to the local officials and don't let them tell you, oh, it's just a citywide election or it's just a countywide election. It's a very, very slippery slope once you see that happening. So yes, everyone should be very, very concerned.
Well, thank you for just encouraging those who are listening to participate in that great call to action. It is so important. Sir, we're just so thankful to have you here with us today. Final question before you run. What do you think are going to be the major issues that sort of drive people to the polls? I think the open border is certainly one of them. And how confident are you that we can change the course and get us back on a healthy course where we are really preserving the great values that make this country great?
Yeah, well, without any doubt, the open border is the number one issue that Americans are concerned about. They're concerned about the safety and security of their families. I think the second issue that people talk to me about is the economy, whether it's the price of gas or groceries or just having a good job, all the economy, inflation. And then the third issue that drives people right now is that the White House, Joe Biden, is a threat to their God-given constitutional rights. People that I would have never dreamed of being concerned, regardless of their age. We did around a telephone town hall with about 17,000 senior citizens from Kansas, and that was actually their number 2 concern, was their constitutional rights. So I think that the Republican Party, people that support President Trump, are very motivated. We saw that in Super Tuesday, Joe Biden winning basically 3-1 across the board. So I think Republicans are very motivated to go vote. I don't think people would walk across the street to hear Joe Biden talk. So I'm very optimistic, but that's why we play the game. Everybody needs to do it, though. Everyone needs to go vote early if you want to. Vote on the day of election, but whatever you do, go vote.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Senator Roger Marshall. Thank you so much for being with us here today, and thank you for the great work that you do. We look forward to having you join us back on Better for America. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Paragon Home Resources is an industry leader in real estate and moving services with a national network of reputable partners. Paragon is here to help you. Paragon Home Resources provides a personal home resources coordinator to arrange the real estate and moving solutions that meet your needs. You save time and money when you use one of Paragon's reputable real estate agents. They can help you sort through your belongings and arrange for shipments of any size nationwide. We understand how buying and selling and the moving that comes with it can be overwhelming. Let Paragon Home Resources simplify the process for you and those you love. Paragon Home Resources is an industry leader in real estate and moving services. Check them out today. To learn more, please visit paragonhomeresources.com/AMAC or call us at 855-647-2644.